tonight. From GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Los Angeles taking the field led by Justin Herbert, third-year man out of Oregon whose career is off to an incredibly productive start.
It feels like hyperbole, but it's actually reality. In only 2 seasons, we've seen Justin Herbert do things rarely or never seen before in the NFL. He's one of only 9 quarterbacks now with a 5,000-yard passing season and made the Chargers a top-5 offense for the first time since 2010. He's also the only quarterback to ever throw at least 30 touchdowns in each of his first 2 seasons and set a record for completions over that same span.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 80 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Austin Eckler, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Time to get our first look at one of the star faces of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City offense. Really the gold standard among NFL offenses since he became the starter in 2018.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Dancing to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Chiefs are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week: 11 carries, 57 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes, eluding the pressure right. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Well, Smith-Schuster with a great catch. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A well-executed 22-yard gain. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Nicole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in Week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. It's Eckler again. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Herbert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Jones, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. These two teams all tied after 1. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? But week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Flushed out right. High throw, but the catch is made. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
With every game, with every season, Travis Kelce, he just confirms his greatness. Streak of 1,000-yard seasons is now up to 6, and he's made 7 straight Pro Bowls, and his numbers have ranked him among the best tight ends to have ever played in the NFL. Another first down right there to add to his career total.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. To throw, it's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, back over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Now a give. This is McKinnon. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes steps away to his left. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he will have the Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Remember in preseason when we went to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. McKinnon. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. That's complete, right around the 8. Touchdown! Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 60. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 21-7. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler. He's had it working pretty well here in this first half up until that last drive when he put it on the turf, Charles.
So I don't think they want to overreact to that fumble, because now you've got a guy that's played so well, you don't want to take him and limit his effectiveness by worrying about it too much. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw him next week at meetings. He'd have a football with him at all times.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's complete to Williams. That one a first down pickup of 8.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 103 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. First down, and they stick with Eckler. He'll get this down to the 38. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Brought down by Willie Gay. On 2nd and 15 now. Herbert, that's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Herbert back to the air. On the screen, this is Eckler. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Looking Austin Eckler's way again. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chargers have got it back to within a score.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
McManus's point after is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Catch is made by Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big pickup of 38.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. Some very intriguing games in that early window, highlighted by the one going on at the Superdome. A big test for the Saints as they'll face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Houston Texans. And finally, it's the season's only doubleheader on Monday night. Titans-Bills at 7:15, then Vikings-Eagles at 8:30. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
And what do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give them a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
Meanwhile, Mahomes throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free possession game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Up the middle with Eckler. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 118 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there, partner. I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Looking for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though. 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Buying time to his left. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Now Mahomes. A battle for it, and It's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. Herbert now. They'll find Everett there, complete. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Back to throw here, Herbert. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end, Parham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And his throw is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2nd down, McKinnon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
He'll get that one to Carter, complete.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's third down and inches.
They'll try and run for it with Spiller.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Finding Carter on the slant. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Screen play, McKinnon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Now a handoff running through the middle. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chiefs are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. Head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. On 1st and 10, Herbert over the middle complete. That's Carter. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.